everyone, and welcome back to the HCW YouTube channel. My name is Rate Wrestle, and we've got another UK Indy show preview. And once again, we are joined by Kumite, and we've got Malachi from Kumite. How are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Really hot. It's been a hot day today.
Has it? Whereabouts are you?
I live in Warsaw.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, it's been stupidly hot. Like the rest of the week, it's been fine. But today,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been quite warm. I'm assuming it's
Well,
not the
yes.
same up there.
It's okay actually. Saying that, I've got my shorts on. Basically, for 6 months of the year, it's just my cut-off jeans, and they have gone on today. So yeah, maybe there's something in that. I've not really been out much today. I took the dog out for an hour this morning, and that's about it. But yeah. So
Awesome.
Warsaw, do they still have the illuminations in Warsaw?
I don't know. I've only moved here since August, so I'm very much not
Oh,
acclimatised
right.
fully to it. I've lived in Birmingham for my whole life until then.
All right, cool.
But I might ask my missus and I'll let you know afterwards.
Yeah.
But yep, we're here today to discuss the upcoming Kumite show that's on May 21st, off the top of my head.
Yes, that's right.
And as usual, what we'll be doing is we'll be breaking down each match. Anyone that I'm not familiar with, we'll ask the audience and yourself, and then we'll
Yeah,
go
yeah.
via that. So we'll start off with two guys I'm not familiar with, so it's always good to kick off with that. So you've got a match Roughneck versus Tyler Owens.
Yeah, well, these are two guys that were on Kumite shows last year.
Yeah.
Tyler Owens is the tag team partner of Antonio Gonzalez,
Ah, okay.
and they're sort of very similar, sort of styles. Roughneck, I don't know if you've watched any of our stuff that was on IWTV
I've only just
previously.
purchased it this week
Ah,
on
well,
IWTV, so I'm going to binge before I go, yeah.
well, there you go. Well, if you
Yeah.
watch the shows from last year on IWTV,
Yeah.
yeah, Roughneck was a villain last year who came in and he hates deathmatch and hardcore wrestling and he shouts
Okay,
at the
yeah.
fans and stuff like that. So this one's a bit of a he's coming back and he says he's having like a normal wrestling match, no hardcore gimmicks, no deathmatch. He just wants a straight wrestling match. So I'm sure that's what he'll do.
Yeah, it sounds like it as well.
Yeah.
So it just sounded like a decent match. Roughneck looks like a beast of a guy.
Yeah, he's been around for worked with Roughneck for years and years, since pretty much since I first started. But he's a big name in Liverpool at TNT. He's been around there for years and stuff, and he's a great guy to have on board. He's obviously he's a bit of a veteran,
Yeah,
so it's nice to have somebody like that around. But yeah, he's a great guy.
yeah. I was just
But
looking up at him.
he's an evil guy. Sorry, boo, boo Roughneck.
Yeah, I was just having a quick look at him. Say he's been wrestling since 2003, so like 20 years of
Yeah,
experience coming to a. So he's probably one of them stages. Yeah, deathmatch wrestling probably isn't for him.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Yeah.
and so yeah, it's kind of like the old school versus the new school with himself versus Tyler Owens.
Totally.
Does look like it's going to be a decent match.
Yeah.
This is a running gag with the last time. So as I said, Roughneck looks like a big guy. You
Yeah.
had on Gallus last time. The
Yes, we did.
picture
Yeah.
doesn't do him justice. The size of the man. I was like, oh, he's going to be big, and then he actually was there, and oh god, he's big.
Yeah,
Um,
he really is a mountain.
yeah. So I can see that being the same with Roughneck, like size wise, just like a big boulder. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so who's the favourite to win this? Do you think?
Well, again, it's going to be a hard one to pick. I mean, if you want to see what Tyler Owens does, he also he went against Antonio last year, and that's on one of the Kumite shows.
Yeah.
It's on IWTV, but it's also on our YouTube channel for free. That match. So you get to see a little bit of Tyler Owens. He's a very similar sort of hybrid wrestler to sort of
To
Antonio
Antonio,
and to
yeah.
sort of Jack Bennett as well. They're sort of like these three guys are sort of the new blood, if you like, of
Yeah.
deathmatch wrestling. So yeah, it very much is going to be a clash of the old school, big old
Yeah.
wrestling dude versus skinny deathmatch dude.
Skinny deathmatch, dude. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It sounds like it's going to be a decent matchup.
Yeah,
We'll move from that to then one. So a gentleman that I hadn't seen live before and I was expecting to see, but he had to pull out due to an injury caused by Alton Thorne, which
yes,
he,
yeah,
he laid the line down. So it's going to be Cole Kingsley versus Harley Harris.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so Harley's gonna be in a few. I'm gonna be seeing her at Wolfram first time
Oh,
coming up
really?
recently. Yeah, so just before I see her there, but this will be the first time I'll be seeing her. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, she's yeah, they're both great. This will be really hard hitting. Like Harley was on most of they were both on pretty much all the shows
Yeah.
last year. So again, if you want to see what they're like, they're both really hard hitting. Carl Kingsley, one of the best wrestlers in the country. Love him to pieces. Hits really hard, nice and old school.
Mm.
And the same with Harley Harris. We dubbed her hardcore Harley Harris now, because
That's a
she
good
fights
name.
in
Yeah.
she fights in jeans when she fights for us. And yeah, she again, friends of ours that we've got into it. Um, she's been around for a fair few years at House of Pain and a lot of the same places that you'll see Carl Kingsley, a lot of the places across the UK now.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be quite a hoss match.
Yeah, like Cole Kingsley, everyone said that he's from yourself to Alton to Fletcher when he was on previously that he's one of the best wrestlers.
Oh,
He
totally.
seems
Yeah.
very underrated in that sense. Then,
Yeah, he is. He is. I mean, he's one of those guys you'll see it he'll be on most shows around here most weekends. But yeah, he's a fountain of knowledge as well. He's just a good guy to have around in general. An
yeah,
asset to any show that he's on.
yeah, and hopefully he's not fighting Hilton Thorne the week prior to it. Otherwise, he might
Yeah.
not turn up again.
Yeah.
And I said Harley Harris I'll be seeing at Wolfram, so I'll be able to kind of get like a gist of that prior to this. Which,
Yeah.
but from what I've seen on YouTube and so forth, she's very good. Like I've seen a few matches on the YouTube,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
She's great.
she looks like she is a beast of a woman. You can like
Yeah. Yeah. She's
like from
very.
the strikes that I've seen her do.
Yeah, very hard hitting. She's also they haven't done it at Kumite yet, but elsewhere she is actually in a tag team with Alton Thorne. So yeah, that's something that we'll
Okay.
get on at some point.
Okay. Yeah. So she seems to be. It's all linked. Is that Hellbound? Is that they're a part
It
of?
is,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is, yeah,
Yeah. I remember him mentioning it previously. It just popped up in my mind.
yeah.
So as the other match, who do you think would be the favourite for this?
Oh, again, it's who's I don't know. I don't know who can say.
Yeah.
But I really don't know. It's like I say, it's two people. It's their first show back this year. Two people that really the fans really enjoy to see. Carl Kingsley has been a bit shady as of late, as you saw at the last show with
Mm.
his shenanigans with birthday cakes and big hammers. So yeah, it'll be an interesting matchup especially with the changing attitude of the once golden Kyle Kingsley.
Lucky you did that. But yeah, so we'll move on to people that I'm more familiar with. So I'll be able to discuss a bit more.
Yeah.
One I'm really looking forward to is Jason Joshua versus the Voodoo Queen.
Yeah.
So first time seeing Jason Joshua at the last Kumite show, and the same for the Voodoo King. To be fair, Jason is brilliant in the ring, but he's very good with the crowd. Like the way the put downs he did with the crowd were like the way he set the mood of the afternoon was really good.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I mean that's what we're trying to do a bit more this season. Is with indie wrestling, there isn't much of a sort of goody baddie sort of heel face sort of thing. So we've really pushed on that this season, and Jason Joshua's just totally ran with it, and he's just great. And especially it being like the first match of the day, we film the shows on Sunday afternoon, so by the time we start, it's only sort of like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So yeah, but yeah, he gets everybody up and shouts at everyone. But it's great. It's just like it's like wrestling's supposed to be, all pantomime and boo.
Yeah, he's really good at it. Like you could tell he could do it everywhere. He can pick, he can see what the crowd are like, and then he can choose the way to be with them.
Yeah, totally. I mean, not to break that it's that it's wrestling or whatever, but we didn't really intend for him to be a villain in the first place. He just came out, and that, like you say, he just adapted to it and ran with it. And then, yeah, that's it. I'm a baddie now, and he became the evil daddy unicorn.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
his fan match was fun. There was a few dick spots. Hitting people with
Yeah,
dick.
yeah. There's always a few dick spots for Jason Joshua.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and just calling people pricks.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
obviously facing Voodoo Queen, who is just an absolute monster. She fought a Tombi and Radu Bulat at the last show. Was that a fatal four? Was that a triple threat? In my head,
It was a triple
it
threat. It
was a
was a
triple
triple
threat.
threat.
I
That's
thought I was
right.
missing
Yeah.
someone for a second then.
No, no, no. That's it. Yeah.
That was just chaos.
Yeah.
There's some pictures are on the website they showed, which it just looks like she's been absolutely whacked silly.
Yeah.
But she was really good. She knew how to hang in the match. Like, you had the two guys, Radu Bulat and Tombi's mental, which we'll go into that point. But she was
Yeah.
having none of it. Like, she was like, fight me.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. She's. I mean, we obviously we have all sorts of people wrestling at our shows. We don't necessarily we don't call it intergender.
No.
We're not calling it intergender wrestling, but because it's just everybody in together and whatever, whatever goes.
Yeah.
So Voodoo Queen in particular, she can really go with like you say, like the last show with Tombi and Radu Bulat. She's actually this will be the second time that she's fought Jason Joshua, and the first match they had was really, really hard hitting, really good. It's kind of what you'd imagine those from seeing them both at the last show. It is available on IWTV if you want. Yeah, I think it's the one from last September. But yeah, it's she's just a great wrestler, really good all rounder. Same sort of, she can do anything. She's really good.
Yeah, like character work, she was really good in the show. Like she got the crowd right behind her, obviously. And just the wrestling world, and obviously she's got a bit of like a darker deathmatch style to her as well.
Yeah, that's
Which
it.
can come
That's
out.
it. Yeah, it's great.
So
she
yeah.
chucks videos all over the place as well.
Oh yeah, we brought this up. FIFA 2002 landed on our bench.
Yeah,
It blew my mind. It just brought back the past, and I was like, FIFA 2002, and it was just real Edgar Davids on the front. But yeah, it's going to be a very good match. So that's one like I'm really looking forward to. I said really enjoyed Jason Joshua and really enjoyed her. So see them against each other. And as you said, IWTV, I've just got it this weekend, so I'll be clued up on the previous matches prior to coming to this. So I'll sound like I know what I'm doing.
But yeah, this is the at the last one, Jason Joshua ruined the Voodoo Queen's attempts during that triple threat match, thus leading to them fighting again at this Kumite. So.
Yeah, so it'll be one to watch. And then we're going up to a tag team match, which there's someone I'm really familiar with. That's from my home promotion. So we've got Big Van Veska, who I've not seen actually wrestle, but I've seen him a lot of the times with the BDK. And he's been in the corner of people, but I've actually seen him wrestle match-wise, so this will be good. And his tag team partner, Lucia Lee, who I'm very familiar from the Kamikaze scene, the BCW scene, and she's incredible. Stupidly talented, and she's hard-hitting, but she's got very technical as well. And they're going to be facing the team of Rourke and Joseph Cardinal.
So
two meaty goalies. I was going to say two meaty goalies. Rourke Van Veska's I'm waiting for that kind of clash between them two.
Definitely. I mean, it's very WCW, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, he's called Big Van Wesker, but yeah, I've seen both of those guys. They work at Future as well, which is sort of obviously we're heavily involved with Future Wrestling. Lucia Lee is there. I can't remember what the title is called, but she's a champion there.
Is it the one that's mentioned on the graphic, GFK, or is that I can see GFK on the graphic, and I was wondering what that was.
Oh, that's the name of their tag team.
Okay.
The Ghostface Killers.
Okay. Because I only know the group as the BFK. That's BDK. Sorry,
yeah. So, so she's got a title at Future. That's where we know them from and seen them. But this is the first time we've had either of them on at Kumite. So, yeah, it's nice to get. We've got a list of people that we're sort of chipping away at that we've wanted to get on for a while.
Yeah.
And so, and it's nice to get new people in. And it's especially nice when we get new people in and you know who they are.
Yeah, like it's the Future Destiny title, but I think it's about like
Destiny
without and
title.
yeah, the it's just DSTNY.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
it's sort of like their intercontinental title,
yeah.
if you like.
But yeah, Lucia, like she just has barn burners matches. She recently
Yeah,
fought Kate Jutler at Kamikaze, and it was such a good match.
yeah,
She can work many styles. So she can work like the babyface getting battered, but like win the crowd over and then kind of fight back, or she can work. At BCW, she's just like the absolute shit heel,
yeah,
just
yeah.
like getting booed out the arena kind of thing. But in the match wise, she's like a suplex queen. So I'm looking forward to trying to attempt to suplex Rourke.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, obviously we've got Rourke and Jason Cardinal in there as well, who two guys that are regulars now at Kumite. This is the first time they've been in a tag team together here at Kumite, but they are a tag team at Future and elsewhere.
Yeah,
But yeah, they're two local lads. I've known them for years. The thing with Kumite, I don't know if Fletch or Alton Thorne said, it's basically a group of mates, and it's all people that have known each other for sort of like the past 10 years.
yeah.
So yeah, I've known those guys since they first started training. So to have them on the show is great. And it's just cool to do stuff with your mates.
Yeah, like Alton did mention that like he trusts Kumite. He said he wouldn't
Yeah,
just go around doing death matches for everyone like getting slashed. Like he trusts being at Kumite, and it just sounded. I said when I explained to because I hadn't been there prior to the actual
yeah.
show. It's such a great atmosphere.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
It's just like a party atmosphere, like a festival kind of atmosphere, like small beer
Brilliant.
garden, but the sun was shining. It's one of these
Yeah,
places that like the beer, like obviously I'm going to speak about, but beer's cheap there as well, so it kind
it's
of gets
crazy
everyone in the
cheap.
mood, yeah. Because you'll go to
Yeah,
places and you'll get like points like £6, and it's like. I mean, it's
yeah,
just a
no.
Carlin, and you're like £6 for a Carlin.
Yeah, I know. I think it's like £2.50 for a pint of like Madry in there. It's
Yeah,
crazy
it's
cheap.
insane. I got slaughtered.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't bad because I was already outside and the air was already hitting me, so it wasn't terrible. Whereas if I was inside and went outside, it would have ruined me.
yeah,
But yeah, it was such a
mm.
good atmosphere in there, and they said it's nice to hear that, like you said, like the wrestlers also have that same kind of feeling with Kumite.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, yeah. That means a lot. That's great. That's really what we strive to do. I mean, me and Alton Thorne, I mean, Alton Thorne and Kyle Kingsley and Magic Mark are probably my oldest friends in
Yeah,
wrestling. Since I think Kingsley and Thorne would have started probably about 2 years before myself. I've been involved for about 8 years, but do you
yes.
really count the year and a half, 2 years there where nothing really happened? So, but I started 8 years ago, but then there was a bit in the middle. There was a bit towards the end where nothing happened. But yeah. So it just goes back to that. It just goes back to just be nice to people, and it pays dividends in the end, really.
No, yeah, and it's going to be a good match. As I said, we'll talk a bit about Cardinal because I feel like we just skipped over him myself. Cardinal fought
Yeah,
Jason Joshua at the show. As I said, it was just a very very good opener. He
yeah,
he
yeah,
played like the like trying to get the crowd on his side kind of role, which he did
yeah.
very well, and he's just really good in the ring.
Yeah, yeah. Well, the fans love it. He did actually used to work at that bar.
Alton mentioned it, yeah, that certainly
Yeah,
points in
yeah.
edge, yeah,
So
yeah. So like you can't be more hometown or hometown favourite, can you?
no, that's
He
it.
worked at
That's
the
it.
venue.
Yeah, he works
Um,
at the venue, and his parents live around the corner from where I live.
bit of bias. So who are we picking to
Yeah.
win this match?
Oh, again, all of
The
the I
fence.
can't. Yeah, because I'm going to sit on the fence for all of these ones. It's kind of like we've done it on purpose.
Yeah, no, it's probably
But yeah, I don't know. I'm just looking forward to like seeing the clash of two big men and seeing two new wrestlers in the Kumite as well in
yeah.
this. So yeah, it'd be
Uh,
good.
yeah, and as I said, I'm pretty biased towards the GFK, so I'm going to go with them. As I
Yeah,
said,
yeah,
didn't mention on the previous one as well. if I had to go with Jason Jordan, good grief, Jason
That's what
Joshua.
I think that's what I called him on the day. There's too many J's and too many
Yeah.
S's. Yeah,
Kurt Angle's
yeah.
son. And I'm gonna go Voodoo Queen. I feel like she's gonna pull it out of the bag
Yeah.
with that one, and I don't think Jason's gonna be happy that I've said that because he does message on Instagram. So yeah,
Well, yeah. Best of luck with that.
yeah. So we'll go into as I said with Kumite. It starts off like the singles match and it kind of builds to the absolute fuckery at the end. So we're slowly building towards there. So I'm going to pick this match because this match is just going to be insanity. So we've got the Fatal 4-Way, which is going to be Antonio Gonzalez versus Tom B versus Lou Nixon versus Clint Margera.
Yeah.
This is silly. That's my only reaction to
yeah,
that.
Yeah, it is. When you look at it, I mean, when we wrote it down, it was like, yeah, that's great. And then you look at the graphic, and the people that are in that match, it's like a who's who of deathmatch wrestling,
Yeah.
and it's great. And again, it's a hard one for people to pick who could win this. Really, it's the first time. It's the first time Clint's been back this year. Clint was on most of the shows last year. Again, Clint's an old friend of mine. Known him since I first started. But Clint is like one of the British OGs of deathmatch wrestling. He was like going over like nearly 20 years ago to like Combat Zone wrestling and stuff like that. So we got him in there with Lou, who's now doing that sort of stuff over with XPW, and he's all over. He's currently, I think, he's in Italy at the moment doing
he's
stuff.
Everywhere.
Yeah. And then Antonio and Tomby, they're like two guys that Antonio started his deathmatch stuff with us. Tomby pushed it a bit further, so we sort of consider Antonio, Tom, and Alton Thorne sort of the Kumite guys sort of thing. Everybody else they're all Kumite guys. So yeah, so it's like a good cross section of the past, present, and future. Of British deathmatch all in one.
It's an incredible
horrible
mixture.
It's gonna be absolute madness.
Yeah, it's gonna be chaos. Like oh god. But yeah, like I was gonna break it down. So Clint Margera, I'm very fond of. He was said with same with Lucia. Clint Margera was around my own promotion Kamikaze for years. He was the champion for like nearly 2 or 3 years. Proper scumbag there. In general, like, as a person, I wouldn't say that, but like in Kamikaze, he proper was well, he was a good guy, and then he turned bad, but he was bad. But he's just incredible. Like I think he's very underrated. Like if people think of the deathmatch side of it, but Clint Margera is very underrated just in general wrestling. He's been so good for so long, but people just think of the deathmatch side. But man can wrestle.
Oh yeah, certainly, totally. And the thing is, the majority, every one of our deathmatch guys on the show have all been wrestling for a number of years before they even thought about doing death matches. So yeah, and Clint is a prime example of that. He's been doing it for so long. But yeah, he can work anything. But yeah, I love Clint. He's great.
Like genuinely, a really, really good guy. And then with Lou Nixon, he's burst onto the scene like a lot recently with the deathmatch scene.
Yeah.
First time I saw him was at Kumite, but live. I'd seen a few of his shows at ICW No Holds Barred. And then recently I saw the California, I think it's called, the deathmatch tournament.
The XPW.
Fighting Masada, of all the people,
I know, chucked in the deep end. But yeah, Lou again. I met Lou when we were both working at Rise. He's like one of the mainstays at Rise in Leeds, and he was formerly part of the Deathmatch Outlaws before he turned his back on them and became a villain and joined British Top Team. But yeah, he's just exploded all over I mean, he's been wrestling for a time over here, but just how quickly it's taken off for him since he's been doing stuff on TV. I think it's because he's a very different sort of character to a lot. Very hybrid. It's very different. He's very, very sporty, very real. He's the only person, I think he's the only person that is a professional boxer, wrestler, MMA fighter, and he also does Muay Thai as well. So he's sort of like proficient in all of them. Does them on a professional level.
Yeah, he looks
It's
like
crazy.
he does them though, don't he? When you look at him, you could, if you told me, when you look at him, he's a boxer. He could kill me. He just has that.
Totally, yeah. He could totally do that.
And just him versus Masada was just insanity.
Yeah. I mean, he's been at the Kumite. This will be his third time. His first time was against Clint actually, and they sort of went toe to toe. He was refusing to do deathmatch stuff at first, and they sort of like
That's how it starts.
That's but yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Lou. I love Lou. Lou's great. I'm just going to say that about everyone, though, aren't
I? And then Tombi and Antonio Gonzalez, the first time I saw them was at the last Kumite. So, as we mentioned, Tombi was in that triple threat. Insanity. Tombi doesn't care.
Tombi, he's a fucking nutcase. He really is. He really is. But he comes up with some really good ideas. Again, if you look back at the stuff on IWTV, you might have seen some of the stuff that went viral on TikTok and stuff, where we had the barbed wire bong and stuff. He's a great. He has an axe made of dark fruits as well that he chucks around the place.
Incredible.
But yeah, he's just fucking mental. He's just mental, unhinged, but he's a fucking great wrestler. Again, a brilliant all-rounder. If you go onto our YouTube channel, there's another free match there. I'm doing really well at
You
this,
are good with the plugs. I like it. I don't need to lead into anything. It's just there.
He's there's a match on there because he had a match that wasn't a death match at Kumite against Scotty Rourke. You were familiar with Scotty Rourke? Yeah, and went toe to toe in a technical match with Scotty Rourke, and it's a fucking banger. So he's an all-rounder. He's a brilliant guy, but he's like he was the number one contender before. He won a coffin match. We did a no-ring coffin match at Cold November Plain, which is available on IWTV. So that's sort of that was the first thing he did with us was a no-ring coffin match, and that's just insane. And he just sort of he fought Joe in a bare balls match, which again, Joe, it's just ludicrous. The man can bleed.
Yeah. But yeah, Tombi, like it's a thing. I brought it up in the Fulton Forum one, but it made me laugh. Basically, when I was getting into Derby, I got off the train. You've already saw, and there was just a guy. I turned aside, tattooed up to hell, and I look, and he's just had patches on his head. Just cut matching. It was like, that's gotta be him. That's just like...
Yeah, he's quite a different guy when he hasn't got his makeup on, but when he's got that costume on, he's a nutcase.
And he's kind of like the I can't think of the word for it in this matchup. You know, like they're not the dark horse, but like it's the
wild card.
Wild card, that's the one.
Yeah.
Just like it can go like a normal deathmatch or it could just go into complete murder.
Anything could happen. Yeah, anything could happen.
Yeah. And then finally, Antonio Gonzalez said first time seeing him at Kumite, he really, really good in the ring. And he's
incredible wrestler.
Insane. We discussed him versus Jack Bennett, which it just looked like that kind of match where it's two young guys that are just going to do some stupid stuff to kind of one up each other. And it got
totally.
there.
It did, yeah. Antonio, again, I've known Antonio since we first started wrestling, and we're obviously a lot older than him. It's like I've known him since literally he was a kid. And once we'd done our first show last year, and we wanted some more people to get involved, I asked Alton Thorne, is there anyone that he wanted to get involved? And he said, "Oh, Antonio." And like before I saw Antonio 3 years ago, I hadn't seen him for probably about 5 years, and he was like a skinny 16-year-old boy. He just wasn't the same person. So then I was like, really? But then he showed me, and he's just like he's put a load of weight
jacked,
on. He's
yeah.
got a body, and he really wanted to get into it. So he was actually again on Cold November Pain. He stepped in at the last minute because somebody pulled out. And we just went, all right then, well, do you want to have a no ring match tonight? And he did it. And he loved it. So we had him back. So because Alton Thorne had sort of asked him along, he wanted to have his first death match. So what we like to do if people haven't had death matches before is to put them in a situation where we know they're going to be safe.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, we put him in with Alton Thorne for his first proper death match, and it's a barn burner. It's ridiculous. And then after the show after that, he fought his tag team partner Tyler Owens, and a similar sort of quite a bit of a mirror match sort of things. But yeah, Antonio's great. The same with Antonio, Tom, and Alton Thorne. They're getting all over the place now. I mean, they've all been around for a while, a long time, but to see them on other deathmatch shows like TNT is really good. It makes us incredibly proud of them. So yeah, it's great to see. It's great to see them all over the place, and to see when they're on it like TNT that people know who they are when they come out, which is the main thing.
Yeah. No.
So,
but yeah, I couldn't pick a winner in this. Like I said, I'm very heavy toward Clint, but it's just stupid, this match.
Yeah, it could go any way. It could go one of four ways.
It could. Oh, yeah. So we'll move on to a match I keep saying I'm really looking for. I'm looking forward to the show in general. But one I've got a soft spot for because I just didn't expect it to ever happen. So we've got Alton Thorne, who was on recently on the review show. Check that out. I'm going to plug that now. And he's facing Gary J. Gary J. I've been watching for like 3 or 4 years on the indie scene in America. Never thought I'd ever see him in the UK, and I've been a really big fan of him. And then he was announced at Kumite, and I was like, hello.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how it works. I mean, he's the first guy that we've had over this year. The first last year we had Alex Cologne last year for our first sort of import, and we had Callum Butcher from Deathmatch Down Under as well. So yeah, we're trying to get a few people in. But yeah, Gary J. He's just one of those guys, like you say, he's been around for years, but since sort of ICW No Holds Barred and stuff started doing the stuff sort of after over lockdown and whatnot, that's sort of where he came up on our radar, and we just fucking loved him, just because he's, again, it's like the new Nixon sort of thing. He's on a lot of deathmatch shows, but he's not a deathmatch wrestler at all.
No.
So that's the difference. So that's why he sort of stands out. And just the fact that we used to call him, well, we still do call him the Slap Wizard, but it's just because he just come out and just slap the shit out of people. And like, who the fuck is this guy? And then we just like said, at some point we're gonna have to, we need to get Gary J. And then the wrestling gods shine their light on us, and then he's coming in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, like I'm really looking forward to it. Like he was nice enough to come on the show for an interview as well. Like,
I watched that.
I was really surprised when I was just going like I tried to not to mark out. I was like, I've been watching you for ages. It's like...
yeah. He's he's a great guy, very down to earth, and you'll find that with a lot of indie guys. They just they appreciate the fact that you know who they are.
Yeah, that's what he said a lot. I think he was surprised that I just when I was speaking prior to the actual interview, and he was just really surprised. He was like, you know who I am? And I was like, yes, I do.
But that's great. But yeah, loads of people know who he is. We know who he is. We love him. So yeah, and that match is going to be stupid again.
Yeah, it's going to be so hard hitting. Like Gary J chop wise is incredible. What I've liked about both of them is they've done very well to like go against each other like online, as in like there's been a lot of back and forth online. And like Gary, I mentioned like the Nettles to Gary, and he went, okay. So, it was like all four and stuff like that. Alton sent a question into Gary on the actual the interview, just saying, "What's it?
It's great.
How's it going to feel for your last breath?" And I'm like, I'm going to say this to this guy, you know.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. We're fucking living it.
And it
This
was
is
just
it.
so nonchalant.
I know. But yeah, we'll be pushing. I mean, there are videos on our Instagram. We've got a promo from Alton Thorne and a promo from Gary J on our Instagram if you wanted to have a look on there. But yeah, both promos are great. Both guys are great. Obviously, Alton Thorne, he's like my deathmatch John Cena. So, so obviously we're going to put him against the Americans that we've got coming over. But obviously this is not going to necessarily be a death match. It's going to be extreme. It's going to be hardcore. But it's you've seen how Gary J fights.
Yeah, he is a death match. That's all the way
Yeah,
I look
he
at
is. Yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't need weapons. He is a death match.
Yeah, but Alton Thorne, obviously, he's only been doing the deathmatch wrestling for about 3 years since he's been doing it with us.
Yeah.
But he's actually trained in like jiu-jitsu and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. They're just going to, they're going to destroy each other.
On each other, and that's all it's going to be. It's just. But I'm excited for it. I'm not going to pick a winner in that.
No, they're just going to both slap each other till they both explode.
Yeah, the fans are the winners. That's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. That's it, mate.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of these ones. I feel like it's just gonna be a knockout. Someone's last breath. But anyone that wants to see Gary J go get tickets now. It's gonna be incredible. And then talking of incredible, main event wise, so for the Death Wolf Championship, you've got Big Fucking Joe versus Danny Darko. I've seen a few of Danny Darko matches online. I've never actually seen in person, so this will be great for me. And first time I've seen Big Fucking Joe was last show, and that was insanity.
Yeah.
This. What was the match topic? It's like the amount of tubes you announced. I can't remember the exact total.
200 light tubes.
Yeah.
200 light tubes
200
and
light tubes.
And bare boards, no padding on the ring whatsoever.
Good grief.
So like we've done bare boards before, which is it was at Big Joe and Tommy, but we've never done bare boards and 200 light tubes together. But yeah, it's like they'll be slamming each other on the wood and the wood. Have you ever watched the bare boards match?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's
rough. It's rough. Yeah, it's rough as fuck. So yeah, that's going to be obviously Big Joe and Darko they've known each other for a long time. They've had a lot of matches. This is going to be the last death match they're ever having against each other in this country. Which again makes it
big thing,
a good reason to come and see it. But yeah, Darko, he's again, we love Darko. Darko, if you want to go back and watch all the Kumite shows from last year, yeah, he's on all of them. He was on the first show that we had up to, well, he wasn't on the last one because he was away WrestleMania weekend doing ICW.
Yeah, that's where I saw him.
Yeah. So it's going to be brother versus brother. You know, it's going to be hard hitting, and again, it could go either way. I mean, Joe, they're both killing it internationally. But again, if you look at our Instagram, there's promos from both of the guys, and sorry, I've just cut my toe on a piece of glass in the office. Sorry.
Deathmatch office. What was this?
Yeah, sorry, excuse me. Yeah, so it'll be all right.
I'm really confused.
Yeah, it's just there's a bag of weapons on the floor just down on the floor here, and it's that I haven't tied it up yet, and I've just sliced my big toe on a bit of glass. It's fine. It's a occupational. Well, it's not occupational. It's just a general hazard of doing it. Yeah, sorry. What was I talking about?
Donnie.
Danny Darko. Yeah, he's been around. He's one of the mainstays at Rise as well. If you look over their stuff, he's part of the Deathmatch Outlaws, which is Joe, Danny Darko, Michael Caden, and formerly Lou Nixon. So you know, four of the best guys in the country. Darko, if you look at the promos, he's fed up that he's been, you know, Joe is where he is because he's been helped by people like Darko, and he's been bleeding with people like Darko. So Darko wants a little bit of recognition from that, and his promo's amazing. His promo's really good. He did it covered in blood outside Matramont's training center, which is crazy. And Joe, it's just going to be an absolute war. I mean, they especially with it being the last time they're going to do it, they're just going to murder each other.
Well, especially last time they're going to do it, and then you put 200 light tubes involved, and you took away the canvas, and
yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
And Big Joe's just like an entity, is the way. It's just like he's his own.
He's like a whirlwind of a man. He just sort of like crashes in, does his thing. And he's like the Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, like we were discussing with Fletcher. I've never seen a man bleed so much from his legs. Like normally when you think about wrestling, you think back, head, and stuff. It's just the legs all the time.
His legs. No, he doesn't wrestle with knee pads or any leg protection at all. There's a documentary about the first Kumite show, which is on YouTube. The Deathmatch Outlaws put out. At the end of that show, he was literally squirting out of his knee, and it was horrible. It was horrible. But yeah, he won't put knee pads on. He's not going to put knee pads on.
Well, if he ain't doing it now, he ain't going to start, is he, really?
No.
But yeah, I saw him at the XPW show. Insanity once again.
He's mad. He's a fucking nutcase.
Yeah.
But he's in the best possible way. I've never known anyone live wrestling like Joe does. He appreciates it for what it is, and he just fucking loves it.
He appreciates the fans as well, which I got from
totally.
When I was at the actual show, like I asked him if he wanted to take a picture, and he was fine with that, and he apologised for having blood on him, and I was like,
yeah.
I was just really confused. Same with Lou Nixon, because he was cut up. He went, I've got blood all on my back. Though. And I went, do you know, can you wash your back before I let you touch it? It's like, no. Such nice, but yeah, the show in general looks stacked. Like the people that you've mentioned that I've not seen myself, they look decent. It's going to be a good match. The people you brought in, like Lucia, Manweska, Gary J, still silly. The Fatal 4-Way, which is stupid. Like that's probably the term of the day. It's stupid. And then,
that's it. It's ambitious. I think
it's gonna pay off though. And then obviously, just to end it with a 200 light tube, no boards, Big Joe, Darko, murder match. It's probably But so that's it from that. I don't know if I'm guessing you're gonna be on the fence for the main event as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, so I might as well carry on. I've been on the fence for the past half an hour or so.
Splinters
I'll
and your toes now.
Yeah, well, I haven't cut my toes, so that's what I get. That's karma, I suppose.
But yeah, so as usual, the link will be in the description to buy the tickets. The venue itself is worth buying tickets for. It's a great venue.
It's great. It's a proper dive bar. It suits us down to the ground. I don't mean that I mean that in a great. Everyone who works there is great. It's like nice people there and stuff.
Yeah, no, it wasn't this terrible place. No.
But yeah, for doing what we do, it's a really good setting. It's outside. The weather's usually banging. We have hot dogs and the beer's really, really cheap.
The hot dog, because I was like 3 sheets to the wind when it was like off. Because I was so happy that beer was cheap. So by lunch, I inhaled that hot dog. It was so good.
Oh yeah,
it was just stupid. But as usual, we'll whack the tickets in the description. Kumite socials will be in the description. We've had the Kumite Instagram on the screen, but we'll be whacking yourself in the description if you want to let everyone know your own handles and Kumite in general.
Oh, what mine? I think the Kumite one is at official Kumite. I think that's the same across the board for everything, Twitter and whatnot. And my own Instagram is at Real Malachi. But it's if you just want to see piles of DVDs and books and pictures of my dog, then jump on.
That's what I want to see. As we were discussing prior to this, so you're just the same as me, just mounds of stuff. I love it.
I'm like a womble.
But yeah, so that's the end of the review as usual. Preview, not review. We'll like and subscribe to the channel. Obviously, let us know what you want on future wise, interview wise. The Gary J interviews out there. We've got the previews for the last show and the review for the last show. If you want to check that out, then check out on IWTV. All the shoves. And once again, thank you for coming on. It's really helped us.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. Yeah. Any excuse to talk about myself out of the drop of a hat.
And IWTV.
Yeah, IWTV. Yeah, you can see me talking about my stuff for numerous hours.
And for anyone IWTV site, it's cheap, by the way. I'm not sponsored by IWTV, by the way. Like I went to buy it Sunday, and it's like $9.99 wise, so it's like $7.50 UK wise.
There's a lot. There's a lot of wrestling on there, especially if you want deathmatch wrestling. It's quite deathmatch focused. You've got all the IWTV stuff now. All the Rise stuff is on there as well. So you obviously got our stuff. There is bits of British stuff on there. I think there's some North shows on there.
There is on there, yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, but it's good. I mean, it's just so easy to fall down a rabbit hole on that channel, just because you just go down and it just shows you haven't. Especially if you've not. When we first got it, we just rinsed it in about a week. We were just like just watched everything, absolutely everything. But yeah, it's great. And it's it's just nice to be on the. It gives you a little bit of a little legitimacy as opposed to it just being on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it's great.
And what I haven't noticed, you won't notice this, though. I'll show you. Basically, I've got the camera set up, so I've got a big camera for myself, big camera for you. But I didn't notice I'm in the corner of your camera, and it just looks like I'm on your machine, your TV machine. It just looks like I've been on it. I didn't notice for the whole video. It looks weird. I just noticed. But we'll end it on that, I'm guessing. But yeah, once again, thank you for coming on.
No worries, mate. No worries. Anytime.
Adios, everyone.